today. Welcome back to Managing Mona's Moolah. I am Mona. This channel is all about paycheck to paycheck budgeting, cash stuffing my savings challenges and my day-to-day cash envelopes, and documenting my mortgage payoff journey. I'd like to pay my mortgage off by December 2026 so I can retire early. So those are some of my financial goals, and if any of that interests you, I welcome you to subscribe to my channel. Today I have a paycheck to budget. This is my second paycheck in June. How is June treating you? It is brutally hot here where we went right from cooler temps right into the heat of the summer. There was no break in between. And now I'll be lucky if I don't melt into a puddle. So it is so very hot here. And I want to get this paycheck budgeted so that I know exactly where my money is going to go for the next 2 weeks. Not a lot of exciting things happening here because, as you know, I have that major stucco home repair project going on, so that is going to take up a lot of my money. So let's delve right into that. I hope everybody's doing wonderful. I hope you all are doing wonderful and you all are doing great and staying cooler than I am, that's for sure. So let's turn to June. For June, the quote in this Budget by Paycheck workbook by the Budget Mom is, "New month, new goals, new opportunities." Yes, indeed. So I'm going to turn right to my June paycheck budget tracker and we can get this started. This is my monthly budget, so I kind of keep an eye on this from time to time. So I'm going to set that off to the side and we can delve right into my paycheck. So this paycheck date is June 21st. I'm going to turn to my calendar just to make sure. This is, I have to write a little bit at an angle. June 21, 2024. Month of June is flying by so fast. This paycheck covers June 21st through July. Let me get that date in July. July 4th already. Wow. This is going to carry us right through July 4th holiday. Wow. Okay, here we go. So I always have my carryover from my last paycheck. I didn't quite spend as much as I thought. So my carryover is slightly higher than I anticipated. That is now $167.72. This is my actual checking account balance right before my paycheck is deposited. So that is matching my bank. Here we have paycheck number 2 of 2 for June. That paycheck is the same every time. $2,586.03. So I'm going to add these together to come up with my inflow total. So 167.52, 167.52. So I made a mistake. 167.52 plus my paycheck, 2586.03. So that is 2,753.55. So that is my anticipated inflow total for the next 2 weeks. All right, so I have my mandatory bills that I have to pay no matter what. So I have to be prepared to pay my mortgage, which is always due on the 1st of the month. That is due July 1st. That is $18.28.58. And I have my natural gas bill. This is for many of the appliances that I have in my home. This is due July 3rd. It's very low in the summertime. I primarily use the natural gas to warm my home in the fall and winter time. And in the summer, it's basically to have hot water, run my natural gas clothes dryer when I do laundry. So it's not very high in the summertime. But what will go up is my electric bill. And that is also due on the 3rd. Now the electricity is going to start to go really high. I hope the air cooler is not making too much of a noise on this video. I do have the air cooler going, otherwise I'd melt. It is just too hot here to survive without an air cooler. All right, so those are the bills, the mandatory bills that I need to pay no matter what. I'm going to add these together. $18.28.58 for my mortgage, $19.16 for my natural gas, and $44.37 for my electricity. And that total is $1,892.11. I'm going to do that one more time just to make sure. $18.28.58 plus $19.16 plus $44.37. Okay, so I'm going to subtract that from my inflow total of $27.53.55, and I have a leftover of $861.44. Okay, so here I am going to plan for my cash envelopes. So between all of my cash envelopes, and I have several, I have giving, miscellaneous, car juice, my allowance, I have groceries. What I'm going to do is allocate $200 for all my cash envelopes. So I'm going to live off of $200. And I do have cash in my envelopes that I didn't spend from last pay period. So I am going to be pretty conservative and live off of less this time. So that's going to give me a leftover of $661.44. And I'm bringing that dollar value to my sinking funds section, 661.44. And for the most part, I do not take out any sinking funds when I have that high mortgage. So I'm not going to take any sinking funds, and I'm going to have 661.44 as my leftover. Bringing that down to my extra debt. I am paying nothing against my mortgage loan. This is where I usually capture that information, and this time I'm not paying anything. Now here is where I am going to set aside and save the majority of this money until I have to pay the contractor for the house stucco project. So they are in week number 2, and I believe they have all of next week to complete this project, so I have to pay that probably by the first week in July. So I am going to save this money and make that down payment. And if you recall, I do have a balance. I captured that balance right here. It's $85.7502. So I am going to allocate most of this money to that bill. I am going to leave a $100 cushion in my checking account. So I messed up here. I'm going to put $100.44 as my cushion. And I'm going to allocate $600 to savings for the house stucco project. So these two together, that's not quite right. I'm going to correct this. I'm going to apply $500 to my house stucco project, which will leave $161.44 in my checking account as a cushion. So these two together total $661.44. Let me add those together to make sure. There's $500 to my house stucco project plus $161.44 as a cushion in my checking account. So that is $661.44, and if I subtract that from the leftover up here, I do indeed get a zero-based budget. Okay, I know it's pretty slim and tight this time around, but I'm trying to reduce my loan amount so that I don't have to finance that much for the house stucco project. So I'm just going to check my math. So I have $167.52 as a carryover, plus my paycheck. The inflow is $2,753.55. I'm going to subtract $1,892.11 for fixed expenses, so I get $861.44. I am allocating $200 for all of my cash envelopes, and I'm going to divvy that $200 up and spread it around with my cash envelopes that I normally allocate money for. Again, that's groceries, allowance, car juice, for kids. All those items are only going to get $200, so I'm going to have to be very careful where I allocate that money. It's only this time around where I have to be very careful with that extra money. Nothing to sinking funds, nothing to extra debt, and I'm going to apply $500 to my house stucco project and leave a checking account cushion of $161.44. And that is a zero-based budget. All right, everyone, that does it for me. Very simple this time around. I have that big mortgage payment coming out, and when that happens, I usually don't do sinking funds. But wish me luck. I am going to stick to this. I have to pay that stucco bill and bring that loan balance down before I even finance the total. So I'm going to try to bring it down as much as I can before I have to take out and sign for that loan. So that's it. I hope your budgeting is going well. Thank you for sticking around and spending a little bit of time with me. I really appreciate it. Thank you to my wonderful friend Deborah at Deborah's Journey. So supportive. Cash Bear Mama, so supportive. And so many other wonderful friends that I've made here on YouTube. So I wanted to thank all of you for your kindness and your support. It truly means the world to me. Take care now, and I will see you next time. I have a mortgage update coming up very soon. So I will see you next time. Bye.